Subscribers and guests of the channel, welcome back, all the returning viewers, and pleasure to meet you if you are new to my channel. My name is Yuri, and today's topic is dating is broken in 2022. Let's fix it. My goal today is simply to share some of the reasons I believe the dating is broken in 2022 and discuss solutions, because without solutions, we're just complaining. And that's not what this live talk is about. And hopefully, none of my videos is about just simply complaining. It's about offering some solutions. So stick around for the entire talk. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. We'll waste no time. The first reason I think dating is broken in 2022 is because it is technology driven. We're now selecting who we date by going to dating apps and social media. And that's unprecedented. This is the first time in history that we live through such unique times. And while it brought about convenience, I also think it created entitlement. Now you can see something better online, and then you can decide that you want it and you can pursue it. And of course, I'm talking about the actual person. So technology created a transactional approach. We exchange experiences, attention, money for something else. And most often, in my opinion, men want sex, women want connection. And that's what we're seeking. It's a game of these exchanges going on constantly. And so the difference is that now you have access to anyone, anywhere. You can pay for their time now. Now, this is an old concept, new methods, however. You can do it online. You can do it through technology, through your phone. You can literally fly somebody into where you're at or come to them. And if you have enough resources, you can provide unique experiences that will make you desirable as a potential dating option. Another thing that is new is that concept that's called get the bag. So now we have Instagram models. It's actually an occupation now. Imagine that. You can talk to someone and you can hear people say, I'm an Instagram model. What? Is there a thing? Yeah, it's a thing now. We also have OnlyFans models. If you haven't heard about this, it's a subscription-based service. And this is where a lot of women, particularly, but some men, I don't know if men are on that thing or not. To my knowledge, mostly it's women because they're making money online by selling sex, by selling, the images, the videos, and men are paying for it. Imagine that. And, unfortunately, it's part of a culture now. We can't get away from it anymore. And so some of you, maybe, who are a little bit older, maybe in late 30s and 40s and 50s, and if this is new to you, if you haven't heard about these things, if it's a new phenomenon, just understand that that's here. I hate to say that it's here to stay. I hope that it's not here to stay. I hope it's a fad that will just go away relatively quickly. But for now, this is as real as it gets. That's how people date each other. That's how they find each other. And that's, quite frankly, that's how exchange of, services and desires happen. And so what is the solution? Oh, and by the way, before I talk about solution, so I think what technology did is it allowed to remove a middleman. So before, if you wanted to produce any piece of content, you had to go through a production company of some sort. Now you don't have to do that. You can just go directly to the platform. You can upload your video. You can upload a picture or whatever piece of content that you want to put in, and off you go. You, an individual producer of what you want to sell to the world. So what I think the solution is use technology to vet. An example is, so when I say use technology to vet, you can actually sort of pre-screen your potential date. You can use that to your advantage. You can set up a video call, get to know someone still through video by seeing the person, by hearing their voice, by seeing their mannerism, by understanding the body language, by asking questions, still have an interaction, but via video. And that will allow you to determine whether or not you want to meet this person in person. And I think it's a huge advantage that we have with technology, but probably underutilizing it. And so, in my opinion, online relationships should be reserved only for long distance type of relationships. Let's see who we have here with us today. We have Joanna in the house. Hello. We have V in the house. Hello, hello. We have Latanya in the house. Thanks for being here. We have Jamie here with us live. Thank you for being here. The soliloquist. Thank you for being here. Liz is here with us. Appreciate you. I'm going to butcher your name again. Janaina. You told me before and I keep butchering it. So I appreciate you being here. All of you. Remember, engage, leave your comment, leave your questions. We're going to have a dialogue. This is the best. The number 2 reason I think dating is broken in 2022, because it's all about I look for this. I want that. I will not tolerate something else in the relationship. This is a narrative that we use as people when we start dating, when we're getting into these relationships. We have this also, on top of that, we have unrealistic expectations. A lot of us, let's face it, we want someone attractive, someone loyal, someone respectful, someone ambitious, someone honest, someone successful, someone who is a good cook, someone who is great in bed, someone who is understanding, someone who is affectionate, someone who is trustworthy. And don't forget, someone who is tall, someone who is in great shape. And the list goes on. Excuse me, are you living in the dream or are you living in the real life? Because clearly, that's not the real life. You're not going to be able to get all of these different things in one person. It's impossible. Even though some people might not like to hear that word, some people say, no, it's possible. I'm going to find it. Well, good luck. You have to really take an inventory of how realistic your expectations are. And the question you should ask yourself, why the other person should choose you? It's not like you come to a job interview and you just talk about what you want. You come to a job interview and you try to sell yourself. You tell them why you're going to be a good candidate for the job, why you're going to be able to do the job well, what kind of experiences you've had, what's going to make you a standout person for that role. You're trying to sell yourself for the job at hand. Yet that's not the approach with a lot of people when it comes to dating. When it comes to dating, people lead with, I want. Whereas at the job interview, you have a little bitty part to ask a question and tell what you want or just find out more. It's mostly selling process. So I'm not telling you should approach it entirely like a job interview and just try to sell you it the whole time. But I think there needs to be balance. It can't be just what I want. There has to be what I bring, how I'm going to, make myself presentable, how I'm going to make this dating process or this relationship a desirable one. So I think dating in a way is similar to a job interview. It's not about you. It's about what do you bring to the table? Can you actually articulate and sell it to another person? And the reason I'm asking that question, because I've actually had a conversation with someone, half jokingly, half not, asking her, what are your values? She could not answer me right in there. I didn't, hold it against her. But I came back. That's someone that I work with. I wasn't dating that person, but it's someone that I worked with back in the day. And I came back a few days later and I asked again, so did you think about your values? Because I was like teasing her. I was like, well, like it would be nice if you could tell me your values. I mean, that's something I would like to know. So I came back a few days later. What's your values? I don't know. Came back again a week later. What's your values? I don't know. And listen, maybe she did not think that, you know, maybe she did not care about answering me. Maybe, but whatever the case may be, I got a sense that she honestly never thought about it. And if you never think about that, you going into a dating situation, somebody's trying to get to know you, you got to be able to articulate what your values are. Because, we use that term in business, value proposition. What is the value proposition of a deal? Should I be going for that deal? Is it going to be for my good for my business? So similarly, what is the value proposition of this dating process or this relationship? What do you bring to the table? Why do I need a sign on a dotted line to date you? And if you never thought about it, how am I going to how am I going to not just commit, take the next step, for God's sakes, to date you? So what is the solution? Is to know what you want and tell what you bring. Obviously, you know what you want. I hope you know what you want. But you got to be able to articulate what you bring into the table so I know what you bring into the table. Let's look at some comments here. Latanya with $20 super chat, super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That means the world to me. Shout out to Latanya for that. Appreciate that amazing support. V said, do you mean people have the six-pack, six-figure, well-educated mindset, yet they are not up to the same standard as the person they want to be with? No, I meant that people just have high expectations. Sometimes, well, actually, part of it might be true. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. There is that thing to where an average person will be expecting someone who is above average. And that's just unreasonable expectation to have. If you a person who, and when we say average, is not to be mean to people, obviously. It's funny that I even need to explain it. But I think people understand generally, like, if they're not getting a lot of attention from the opposite gender for one reason or another, you have to think about it, right? And there's nothing wrong with being average. But what is, I think, wrong is to expect extraordinary if you average. If you average, that just means that you have to make yourself better. And there are a number of ways to do that. It will be different for men and women, but because I think we'll look for different things, but there are ways to do that for each gender. So instead of being bitter or having the mindset that, oh, I deserve that, I'm entitled to that, no, go out and figure out what you need to do in order to make yourself more desirable for the opposite gender. That's the winner's mindset. And I don't know what you about. I'm not talking to you in general, V. I'm talking about people as a whole. I don't know what you about. I would like to win in any capacity that I can. So for me, I don't want to sit there, feel sorry for myself. And I can, blame. You know what? It's easiest thing to do in the world is to say, I could sit there and say, oh, a bunch of women suck. I really don't like it. I got hurt in the past. What? It's reasonable. I can say that I had bad experience in the past. So I can allow myself to be bitter, give myself a permission to be bitter. Is it going to help anybody? Is it going to help me or is it going to help my potential partner in the future? Hell no. So why in the world I would take that stance? I kind of digressed a little bit, but the point being, be honest about where you're at on a pecking order and be honest about what you need to do if you want to get to the next level. Yvonne said, the challenge I have is not allowing myself to expect someone to be my husband while still holding true to what it is that I want. Liz said, integrity, honesty, respect, giving, responsibility, love. Those are good ones. Those are really, really good ones. I like those. Number 3 reason I believe that dating is broken in 2022 because of lack of true connection. And by the way, desire is not connection. It's not one and the same. I can see a woman who is very attractive and I can desire her with all my heart and have no connection with her whatsoever. And I think this is also an important note to make, because tell me in the comments if you agree or not, but it seems that women, at least some women, think that if man is pursuing you, if man wanting you, if man is really trying to win you over, and then ultimately he ends up in the intimate situation with you, some of you believe that you have connection with him. And the disconnect is that you as a woman might have connection with him, but he as a man might have no connection with you whatsoever, because desire is not equal connection. I should probably specify that for men, desire is not equal connection. For women, you can tell me if you think is the same or not. I would imagine it would be the same. Remember that you are dealing with a stranger. In the beginning, especially, right? Because we're talking about dating. Dating, by definition, is the beginning of the process. So you're dealing with a stranger. You don't know that person. And so expecting, you know, a true connection in the beginning, or not even that, just expecting that the person is going to treat you with all these imaginary, qualities is not reasonable, because it takes time to build that. It's not, you don't come into a homeless person on the street, complete stranger, and just demand to feel a certain way, for him or her to feel a certain way about you. Maybe it's a bit of an extreme example, but let's just take an average person from the street. It's that person, a stranger. You have no idea what he is. So just because you had a date or two and you had a good conversation, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen either. And another thing too that may be kind of hurtful, in my opinion, people generally don't care. People generally don't care. They will say politically correct things to you. They will say things that they should be saying so they don't get judged. But behavioral speaks louder than any words. And so if you go on a date with someone and then somebody been telling you all these wonderful things, but then they don't call you, what else do you need to know? And by the way, it doesn't happen just with men, because some of you ladies might automatically think that men do it all the time. Women do it too. I've been on dates where I thought I had a good date and I never heard from a chick from that point on. So I think people generally don't care. They're not going to go out of their way to make sure that you're okay. You're a stranger to them. Another thing that, well, by the way, another point. And so don't assume that they actually will treat you better just because you bang them either. The assumption that's coming back to the previous point, desire is not connection. You can bang them. That does not mean that they're going to treat you better as a person. That is not a given. Not everyone is capable of caring for others either. I didn't realize it right away. It's a difficult realization to have because I think you want to be able to see the best in people and you want to hope that everyone has your best interest at heart, but it's just not the case. I think that honestly, not everyone is capable of caring for others. But luckily, there are people that more than capable of caring for others. But even for them, it takes time. It requires the time to care. This is not an automatic thing. Because I think to build a relationship is to create a bond. And I don't think you can truly expect someone to care for you unless you build a relationship. And when you talk about building a bond, sex is not good enough because everyone can offer it. And so the question is, what unique aspect do you bring into this dating process? Why someone should try to build a bond with you? The solution is build a relationship. This is what we are missing today, I believe. One of the things we are jumping into these quick relationships, casual things, Netflix and chill. We have these surface like interactions, and we expect a true connection in return sometimes. And it doesn't work like that. Just like you would build anything else, your skill set, your portfolio, meaningful relationships in your life that last a long time. Your dating process, your romantic relationship requires watering the same way. You have to invest time in it. You have to create a bond. And unless you create that bond, you can forget about the meaning behind it. My opinion. Let's see other comments. Latanya with $10 super chat. You're making rain today. I appreciate you. So kind. I appreciate that. Facts, Yuri. Being Boyam, you're correct. What is Boyam? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, is it boy mom? Boy mom. I appreciate that. Let's see. Yvonne said, in other words, I can't go into every male interaction expecting him to be what my late husband was while still looking for those qualities that I found so attractive in him. Yeah, I think you're correct in that. I really think you got to be able to go into it with no expectations, being a little bit more relaxed. And I don't know, maybe you're already relaxed, but in general, I mean, having a conversation, right? No, you need more common interest, goals, ideas, common interest, goals, ideals. Sex and desire is not connection, but a real connection can enhance the sexual experience. Without a doubt, a real connection absolutely can enhance the sexual experience because it's more meaningful. It holds more weight. Takes time to build. That's why we're having these conversations. We need to be able to bring these things to light for both. It's not an automatic thing. You see, I think sometimes it's like a human conscience. We're trying to go through shortcuts. We think if we bang each other quickly, then we can build the connection. And that doesn't work like that. You can't have those shortcuts. And I think then we're heartbroken later on when we realize, oops, I gave something out, but I didn't get something back in return that I expected to get. And it's a tough realization. Bond requires time. Desire does not equal connection. Yes, I'm the same. Desire doesn't always mean connection. I think we are so egoistic nowadays, but want deep connections like never before. Everything is about self-care. This won't make us happy. We need more compassion, more warmth, more caring for others. 100%. Yvonne with $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. You guys are so kind today. This is awesome. This is great birthday present. Tomorrow, by the way, my birthday. Tonight is the last sunset of my 30s. Literally, I am planning to take a picture. Hopefully, I'll have a nice sunset. I'm giving this away, giving this idea away on my live talk, just for my dear members and everybody who's watching live. I'm saying goodbye to my 30s tonight. Last sunset of my 30s. That's going to be the name of the picture. I appreciate your kindness and support. First time commenting here, just subscribe. Thank you so much. Maya Papaya, is that how you say it? Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you. V said, agreed. The net has made things like Tinder where sex is the goal, and the new couples tell you they met on Tinder, but they break up a few weeks later when they realize they have nothing in common. It is unfortunate reality that we have these surface level relationships, and I've been part of it, so I speak from experiences actually, and abstaining from these relationships. In the beginning, it's weird because you you don't have this human interaction that you used to, but now feeling somewhat reborn, feeling like I don't depend on them anymore. It sounds bad, I know. It sounds like a drug addict going through rehab process, but in a way, that what it feels like you have withdrawals from these dating apps, right? You have to just get over that, get through that phase. Not always easy. Got to get it done though. Yvonne said, I'm sensitive, kind, smart, loving, loyal, and most importantly, I'm a daughter of the King of Kings, and I understand my identity as a woman in Christ. That's wonderful. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate that. By Thursday, I hope tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thought everyone knew a Virgo. Virgos, yeah, it's like born in the last day of Leo. Appreciate all the nice words and birthday wishes. Thank you so much. All right, so really that's all. Those are the three things I've had. So just to recap it really quickly, dating became technology driven today. And we talked about solution, using technology to vet, set up video call, meet in person, and using online relationships only for long distance type of relationships. It's all about I. We talked about how we live with what we want versus talk about what we can bring to the dating process. Solution is know what you want and tell what you bring. And then the last thing we discuss is lack of true connection, which is also relevant today. We talked about the desire is not equal connection, but many people confuse the two. And we talked about solution, building a relationship, building a true bond. My friends, next live talk is on Sunday, August 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, USA. Be sure to do a couple of things for me. If you haven't smashed the like button, be sure to smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Be sure to hit that bell to receive all the notifications for future live shows, videos, and short videos. I've been going harder on the shorts videos, so you can see like a quick content, but you can still be engaged in a channel. I can share some of my thoughts, some of the pieces of wisdom, and of course, engage in a conversation with all of you. We had great interactions in the last couple of days with the members of the channel. By the way, we do not have to agree on everything. I don't expect you to agree with everything that I say. Why should you? It's about a conversation, and it's about agreeing to disagree. It's about having a dialogue. That's the beautiful thing about YouTube about content creation, and about this particular community. But I want to make sure that you know about some of the opportunities for you as a community. We have this amazing members community where we interact on Instagram, um, and we share many different things within that community. So if you consider to take a next step of engagement, please consider becoming a member. Underneath the banner on my channel, you will see join button. So you can click on that and see all of the tiers of membership available to you. You also have Discord server that you can join as part of this community, which is free. Um, and of course, you can reach out to me directly on Instagram or via email and interact with me that way as well. Also consider supporting a channel. You see the running line underneath. It's paypal.me at Peace Prototype. All the funds, every single cent donated will be put back into the improvement of this channel. And I really, really appreciate everyone's super chats today. Thank you so much. We had 3 of them. We had Yvonne with $10 super chat. We have Latanya with 2 of them. $10 super chat, and then $20 super sticker. I'm really, really appreciative of all of your support. With that, my friends, let's just say thank you to everyone who joined the live stream. We've had Liz here with us. Thank you for being here. We had Jamie here with us. Thank you for joining. We had Yvonne here today. Thank you for being here. We had Latanya here today. Thank you so much. We had V in the house with us today. Appreciate you taking the time to join. We have new first-time subscriber, Maya Papaya. Appreciate you being here. We had Joanna with us here live. And I think Janaya as well was here earlier. And then Soliloquist was here earlier. So thank you to every single one of you for joining, for sharing your thoughts, for birthday wishes, and for interacting. Have an amazing Sunday. Be well, be healthy, be positive, be joyful, be happy. I'll be seeing you soon, my friends. Peace.